upon a time, in this very room we're all sitting or standing in right now, a fly was born. The proud parents named him Cedric. Cedric grew up in affluence. There was food and play plenty whenever he needed it. He just had to land on someone's plate or trash. But like many others who possess more than they need, he became unhappy. He longed for a change in his life, and he no longer liked the places and people he was surrounded by. And one day he decided to fly as far as his wings could carry him and never come back again. He flew and flew, day and night and day, until he reached a place where he was certain to stay until the end of his days. Oh, Africa, how beautiful you are, he thought, and looked at some glimpses through this sub-Saharan fairy tale-like panorama. Then suddenly he realized that the traveling made him very, very hungry. Oh, my dear, a voice from nearby could be heard. I never met a fellow like you before. Tell me, friend, what's your name? Then Cedric realized that he should choose a new name for his new life in Africa. Cedric Clement used to be my name. Now just use my initials CC, he thought, or better keep the tradition of my motherland where the letter C is pronounced as C. My name is Cece. Oh, nice to meet you. I'll let everyone know that Cece the fly has arrived. Thank you. But can you tell me, please, where to find food here? I know for my kind where to find food, but for you, I really don't know. But I know of someone who certainly does. Then, out of nowhere, a fairy appeared and said, I am Queen Evolution, also known as Mother Nature. What is your desire? I'm hungry and would like to find food. Look around. What do you see? Giraffes? Ah. Cattle? Yes. Lions? Oui. Humans? Oh, I see. And zebras, of course. What? Where? Oh, I forgot. But tell me. Wrong voice. But tell me, Mother Nature. Do you want me to eat these animals? And if so, how am I supposed to do so? And besides that, I'm vegetarian. Oh, don't you worry, child. It would not be me. I need to waste a little. It would not be me if I did not know of a way how to make you get your food. Have a look. She waved her wand and Cedric's snout became a syringe. Oh, thank you so much. And the fairy disappeared. He certainly was in paradise now. How sweet is red water, this blood tastes. All the nutrients you need, how exquisite. But then, an unwanted guest arrived in some animal's bloodstream. Some very dirty bug it was. And soon, all the animals visited by Tsetse became sick. Because he spread the bug to them, the animals began to believe in a curse that came with Tsetse. And Tsetse soon became everyone's most feared enemy. This place no longer was paradise. It became hell for everyone. So this was the fairy tale. Now we'll proceed with some science. So, we talked about the bug. The bug's name is a composition of 3 words. So, the Greek name for a drill is trypanon. So, trypanon. Soma would be the body, so drill body. And then Brucei, that's the last part, comes with the name Bruce, the one guy who found this very organism. So which one is it? Of course, the weird-looking guy. So combining these 3 names, we would get a real nice thing here. So if you're scared of it, then it's Trypanosoma brucei. I don't want to talk about that name anymore, and it's kind of scary, so let's call it Tripsley. Does anyone of you maybe know this game, Grand Theft Auto? So I will explain you how it works. You steal cars, you do bad stuff, and then the police will follow you and they will say, okay, this bad guy lives in a red car with this very number plate. And then, if you're smart enough and the police is after you, you will go and visit some paint, some garage where you can repaint your car. So, and then you come out of this garage and no one will know that it was you. So our immune system works the very same way. So Trypanosoma brucei Tripsley, he changes his coat on the surface every now and then, and the immune system has no chance to fight against it. So this is a very nice microscopic image a friend of mine in the lab took. This is Tripsley, and when you want to see some structures, you can make them appear in different colors. So it's basically the same principle. When you go to a disco, you get a stamp, and you can only see it under a UV light. So here we have green fluorescence and blue fluorescence. So the blue fluorescence is, so to speak, the brain of this organism. So we see one brain, that's what we expect, but then we see a second brain, and this is kind of odd. So what might this be? So for this I need to go back in time, and I mean in time millions of years back. So we have a cell, the green cell, so the green cell here, and the red cell of course is smaller, and then the green cell begins to eat up this because it wants the nutrient that it contains. So this goes on until the red cell is eaten up, and normally it would be digested, but not in this case, it survives. So now we have a problem. But the good part about it is they both profit from each other. So the cell would give it some nutrients and it would give back some energy. That's cool. I like that. So the cell could grow then, and within the cell, these mitochondria, you maybe heard of them, they can separate each other. And so the cell could then, when it wants to be divided, could divide, and every part of the cell would have some parts of this mitose. So here we have the same thing in our cells, but this is the part where the scientists really go crazy. I tell scientists, this cell, the Tripsley, has only one mitose. So they say, what? Are you serious? Are you sure? And I say, of course I'm sure. I studied that the last couple of years, or at least 2 years, to be more precise. So now, since it's only one cell within the cell, I could say like this, we need to make sure that this cell here, the mitose, divides before the cell divides. So this is kind of complicated and needs some enslavement of the Tripsley, the green one. So how do you enslave someone? Whips, that's a very cool thing. Then you can have something on the leash, that's also very cool. Or you can do it the Matrix way, when you plug in something into the brain of the one you want to have enslaved. So Tripsley does all these things to his mitose, and everything is done with this super nice structure, that's the flagellum. Also, when you translate whip into German, you would get the word Geißel, which you back translate would both mean flagellum and whip. So that's cool. So here's the flagellum, and it can not only enslave, but it can do much more stuff. So it directly connects to the brain of the mitochondria. With this, it controls its mind. So that's cool. So here you see the whole thing again. And now, that's not all. The flagellum is also, so I tried to tell you something, it's responsible for the movement of the cells, and can also do some drilling action because it's moving like a drill. So the movement of the cell, by the way, is this direction, not as you would have thought, in this. So, and it's also responsible, recently has been shown that this shares stuff. So two cells can exchange stuff. That's really interesting and something very new. So why is this Tripsley so dangerous? So when it's when Z distributes it from animal to animal, it would evade the blood system and the lymphatic system. And it can divide there and become more and more, but there's one barrier, the blood-brain barrier, that separates the blood and the brain. And Yeah. Drills through and then goes inside. It's the drugs against it are very toxic, and it's mosquitoes are the most dangerous, and humans, then snakes, and then dogs, and then Cedric. So, without conclusion, Cedric spread strip. Let's keep that up. So, if you want to make scientists believe you, then you should show it like this. So, that's me.